Hello, beautiful ladies. Super excited to connect with you today on this Tuesday. It's 5th of, what is it, May? Wow. I'm going to start answering your questions today on how to find meaningful love, how to break free from pain, how to let go of a person that's not good for you. Before I start, let me just share with you that if you are going through deep pain and you want to find the love that you have not been able to find, and you've not been able to do it just on videos, you've not been able to do it just with books, then, well, Sina, so happy to see you. Then I might be able to help you. There's a couple of links you can connect with. The first one is if you go to www.callwithbern.com, CALLWITHBERN.com. That's going to be a place where you can apply to have a conversation with me to figure out if we might be able to work together. Another one would be just if you want to go deeper in finding love and you're not interested in coaching, then just go to www.bernmendez.com. So let's get started. Andrea, so happy to see you, beautiful lady. Nunu, Spanish Angel, Isabel Shu, Giovanna Sleluta. Is that how you pronounce your name? Beautiful name. Michelle, Andy, Cynthia, Irene or Irene, Lady Warrior, Holly Parker, Sita Belrausa. It's so happy to connect with you. So here's how it's going to go. What you can do right now, if you have a burning question about something that's going on in your life, just type that question here on the chat. Therese, Norma, Ruth, Salve, Mi Amor. It's a cool name. I love your videos. Okay, so what you can do is I want you to type a question. If you have a burning question for something that you're going through right now, I'm going to be here live for a few minutes, doing the best I can to answer questions in a meaningful way that you and those around you can benefit from the answers. So let me see if I can have. First question I have is Sina. Okay, I've been single for 2.5 years. I'm afraid of dying alone. All my friends and siblings are in deeply committed relationships and married. Okay, so if you can complete that with a question, I would be happy to answer it. The next one is Lauren Love. I've been with a man for 4 years, but he's not ready for marriage. Okay, well, my first advice to you would be to note what specifically is preventing him from getting married. Because the reality is, if there's a specific reason why he's not getting married, perhaps it's financial in nature, perhaps there's something that he's afraid if he were to do that, then there's some behavior on your part that he's afraid he's going to have to experience for the rest of his life. Or it could be that he doesn't want to get married and that it's not his highest ideal and that you're wasting your time with him. I can't say if you're wasting your time with him or not, but it's worth having a conversation. It's worth figuring out exactly and precisely what's preventing him from getting married, what needs to happen for him to break through that fear, and gauge for yourself if it's something that you're willing to step into and work out with him, or if it's something that's so ridiculously difficult and so far-fetched into the future that you're basically signing a death sentence emotionally by sticking with someone who doesn't want the thing you want. So let me go back up here because I want to do it in order. Next person here is, how long should I give him to confess his love? It really depends. Yosra, this is a question from Yosra El Wardani. You should give him, it depends on the type of relationship you have. It depends on how you're connecting with them. It depends on the level of friendship. If things are progressing, then that's good. If things are not progressing, then that's not good. You need to figure out what's your level of interaction with them, how open you've been in terms of allowing him to see that you're excited to connect with him, that you're into him and he's into you. How often do you talk? How often do you connect? If you're more specific with me, I can probably give you something more accurate than that. But it really depends on the type of relationship you have. Okay, so let me go back and Laura. Okay, second part of your question is, he has kids with another woman, and his young kids might resent him. Yes. Okay, so he has kids with another woman. It depends. So here's the thing: if the kids might resent him because he's not been a good father, that's one thing. If they resent him because he found happiness with somebody else, it's a different thing. So he has to make the decision. Ultimately, the decision he has to make is the type of life and the type of love that he has towards you worth the discomfort of feeling some short level or short spurred pain with his children? And what would he have to do to make up for them the fact that he's not with his mom, right? I mean, how does he plan to give back to his children in such a way that even if he marries somebody else, he's still being a great father versus I'm a shitty father and I'm not being great with my kids. So as a guilt thing, I can move forward. If he's already made the decision that he's not going to be with that woman, then the best next decision he can make is give them an example of what is possible, so that they don't grow up knowing that love is not possible and that they have a chance of getting what they want in life. But he has to be willing to be a great dad, do whatever he hasn't been doing with them, so that then even if he's taking a little bit by asking them to trust him by virtue of being with you, that he's giving them far more than he's asking from them. That would be my best advice. You need to have a conversation with him where he needs to find out if he's willing to do that and what it would take for him to feel confident enough that he can do it. And if he's like, well, I don't know that I can ever do this, then you're wasting your time with him. This is not something simple or something that takes place in one day, but he needs to have the willingness to do it, and he needs to figure out a plan, and he needs to figure out exactly what needs to happen. And if he needs to get support or coaching or therapy, then he needs to do that, because otherwise he's carrying you and dragging you around in his indecision. Next question. Let me see. I'm going to go specifically to questions versus stories, right? I mean, I see human beings where women who are sharing with me questions, like, Holly, you're sharing a question with me, but it's not really a question. You're saying, I was in love with my husband and I lost it through lies and drama. So I ask you to go back and ask a specific question so I can go beyond the situation and give you what you're looking for. Next one is by me, Amor. Do men like heels? I think some men love heels and some men don't love heels. It depends on, I think, both his level of confidence, because heels will make you look taller. Great mystery here. And if the guy is confident about them, he'll be appreciative and love them. And if he's not confident about his height, then probably he won't. Or it depends. I think this depends on the guy. Next one. Risa Moore, you finally come out of my life. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Salbai, I want to find my guy, but I'm stuck on my ex who I love. He's left me and I cannot get over him. How do I get over him? So it's a great question, okay? And it's not just for you, Sal. It's for everyone who's watching this who might need some guidance as to how to let go of someone who is no longer a fit for you. So the first thing I would say is, if your ex has moved on and there's no way to go back with them, or going back with them is possible, but it would destroy your future because he's not a good guy for you, then the next thing you can do is, you probably idealized too much the great things that were happening when your ex was in your life. And you're probably not doing enough of recognizing the truth of what happened, which is probably there were times where you wanted to cry, or you actually cried, where you felt not loved, where you felt not seen, where you felt disrespected, where you felt ashamed, where you felt so many different emotions that are not just like, he was an amazing partner. So I have no idea what kind of partner he was. I have, if more likely than not, if things ended because you guys weren't right for each other, then you need to start focusing not just on the rosy lenses of what was beautiful, but the truth of both. You don't just want to make things horrible that weren't horrible, but you don't want to idealize things in such a way that you are simply looking at it through rose-colored glasses. So have some periods of time, balance it out, where you're noticing the shit that was not working, that would have never worked, that was painful, that was miserable, that made you feel sad. And as a result of that, take the necessary actions right now to start doing things for yourself. Before you start going forward to the next guy, start doing things right now that you weren't doing before. Start doing things that make your life feel exciting and confident and radiant and happy. And when you get yourself back, when you feel that you're in a position of offering because your cup is so full that there's an overspillage for you to give, that is when it's the right time for you to find a new partner. Otherwise, you're going to start maximizing whatever mistakes that were not resolved, you're going to take with you to the next relationship. You need to figure out what happened. You need to fix what happened within yourself, not with them. And then you need to put yourself out there again, but not before taking those steps. Next person would be Okay, Steluta. I think I'm slaughtering your name because I think it's far more beautiful the way it's written than the way I'm saying it. So forgive me, my dear. But you said I have a beautiful connection with a man for 1 month. I was a rebound. He broke up with me. He broke up with his wife after 10 years. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry that you have this. I think next time, the only advice I can give you right now is next time take longer to get to know him and take longer to before you become exclusive. Because yeah, a guy who just broke up with someone for 10 years might not be or probably isn't in the position to give you what you're looking for. Myanmar saying, how can you donate to me? No need to donate. I'm so happy to offer this right now. Actually, my the way I monetize my stuff here is I have a coaching practice and I help women from all over the world to get exactly what they want through hand holding and specific customizing of the help. And at some point, you can check on any of my videos. There's a couple of links where you can apply to work with me. If you're interested, it's not, I'll say in advance, it's absolutely not cheap and it's not easy, but for the right fit, it might be a life-changing experience that actually helps you get what you want with a lot less pain, with a lot less unnecessary travels. Okay, so let me see what else I have here. But thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you're willing to donate. I send you a big kiss. Latina CH, he's controlling me. I should take permission for everything. He's very, very possessive towards me. He doesn't allow me to talk to other guys. Is it right to stay with him? Well, it doesn't sound like it, Lalita. It doesn't sound like if he's not controlling you, you're allowing him to control you, which is a very smart decision and a courageous distinction to make. No man controls you that you don't allow him to control you, at least not for an extended period of time. In the short term, he might be stronger than you, he might threaten you, but ultimately, you have the power to change it, and only you can change it. And more likely than not, if you find that he's the type of controlling man and you haven't been able to break free from him, that means you're getting secondary gain from this interaction. That means you're getting a lot of your needs met in unhealthy ways. And the problem is not him at this point, because I'm speaking with you, I'll say it's you. It's you. It's the guy who wants to control you. That's his problem. You accepting the control, that's your problem. And I'm asking you right now to do what you can to get help, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a coach, whether it's an organization in your town that can help you. But these things tend to get much worse, not better. And you might find yourself a year or two from now not recognizing who you've become as a result of allowing a guy to disrespect you and fuck up your life. But it was you constantly, daily saying yes to him that made it happen. So only you can break it. Get your friends involved. Get somebody who can help you. Get your courage to state what you need to state and to leave this if it's not a healthy situation for you. Okay, let me go back up here and say my ex broke up a year ago. I've been doing this. This is wonderfully made. My ex and I broke up a year ago. I've been doing a lot of inner work and tapping into my feminine energy, going out on dates, etc. However, I'm still thinking about him. I still love him. Should I get over him? I think here's a beautiful question. So you should get over him in so much as you need to take action regardless of the fact that you still love him. You don't have to stop loving him in order to move forward. The thing that's healthy is for you to love him from a distance, for you to love him without having to connect with him, without having to communicate with him, because typically things tend to get confused when that happens if you're still in love with him, and then you might end up backtracking on all the progress you've made. So my suggestion would be thankful for what he brought to the table, continue loving him for the rest of your life if you need to, and allow that love to take a different form. Allow for that love to be in the form of another man who shows up, who is committed, who is consistent, who respects you, who loves you, who is willing to go the distance, and who's willing to work things out when things are not working. Because that's something that, when to a certain level, there's things that are unhealthy that need to stop, but sometimes things have solutions. So if you connect with a guy who's willing to find solutions, then the love that he instilled in you is planting the seed, and it's seeding the foundation for something great in the future. So continue thanking him from your heart, but from a distance would be my best advice. How do I help my guy? This is Marie Brown. How do I help my guy open up and share with me since his mom passed away 2 years ago? Well, here's what I would say. Everybody has a different grieving process, and everybody has a different need to share what happened. He might have a great need to share what happened, or he might prefer to keep it to himself, or to express it in other ways, or to grieve in different ways. So my advice to you would be, Let him know that you're open. Let him know that you love him. Let him know that you accept him. Let him know that if he ever wants to share something with you, it's cool, and let go afterwards. So otherwise it becomes like it's for you, not for him. You can't want for him to share something with you more than he wants to share it himself. The best you can do is to create an open space for him to know that there will be no judgment. It's okay to cry in front of you. It's okay to share anything that he wants about his mom, but don't have an agenda of secretly making that the case if he doesn't want to do it, because then you're becoming the therapist and you're becoming the surrogate mommy, and that's not what he's looking for most likely. So have patience, have an open heart, and detach from the outcome if that's not something that he's willing to do, so long as it's not impacting other areas of your relationship. Next person would be Holly Parker. How can I get things back, or how do I stop him from lying and making up stories to make me look bad and he looks like a saint? Well, that's something I have an answer for you. You can't make a guy stop lying. You can't get a guy to stop making up shit. What you can do is set a standard and a foundation of here's what you're looking for, and then respect yourself enough to where if he's not willing to step up, then leave him. That's basically how you show a guy that he needs to step up. You share what you want, and if that stepping up is something he can't do or not willing to do, and it's affecting your life, it's affecting your self-esteem, it's affecting your future, it's affecting the life and the love that you want to receive on this earth, then you need to do the courageous thing at that stage when you're giving him a chance to move on, and allow him then, by virtue of missing you, to maybe then step up. But some guys won't do it even then. Nana, when will a man decide to marry? I think a guy will decide to marry when he recognizes that is one of the best things that can happen to him if he does it with the right woman. So different guys have different blueprints. I think something that I'll answer this question by stating that you need to ask any guy you're dating very early on what his thoughts are on marriage, and even going deeper, what he's looking for, and what will be his decision-making criteria to commit to marriage to someone, not to you, to someone. Why? Because some guys will say, I'm not looking for marriage, or I'm looking for marriage in 5 years, and you're on the 1-year path, he's in the 5-year plan. And if he's in the 5-year plan, you're wasting your time with him. So ask him, have a conversation with him and say, hey, dude, this is a question that I'm asking you, taking myself out of the picture. What needs to happen for you to know that you're ready for marriage? And then see what he says. And then let's go from there, okay? Mi amor, do men like aggressive behavior from a woman, or do they like to take charge? I mean, I don't think men like aggressive behavior from women. I don't think women like aggressive behavior from men, except when their life is in danger and he's defending them. But other than that, aggressive behavior is unneeded. I think it's not that they like to take charge. I think men like to lead in some ways, but they also like to experience your thoughts, your ideas, your vision of life. So it's a back and forth thing. It depends on what area of life. I think guys who are connected to their masculine will prefer to lead versus be led, but that does not mean, and that does not equate to aggressive behavior against you or against other men, and it doesn't equate to you not having a say in what goes on. It just means that if he's truly stepping up to serve, he's serving not just you, but you and him, and that's a big distinction. Brenda Gomez, message was retracted, so I can't see. Let me see who else I have here. Okay, so it's good how I spell your name. Thank you. Let me see what I lost the question. Damn, because it went all the way up. Okay, so let me see who else has here. How does it feel talking to all these pathetic humans? I don't know, man. Like whoever wrote this, I think you have no idea what this is like, because it's not. I don't look at human beings who connect with me and asking for help as pathetic humans. I look at the women who come and reach out for help as courageous women who are not willing to let the shit that happens in their life dictate their future. So I think it's the opposite. I feel incredibly blessed and incredibly grateful to have the opportunity and the blessing and the pass-through of information to help human beings get more of what they want, specifically women. So I'm sorry to hear that I totally disagree with what you're saying. And I hope you have a great life. And I hope that you also take the time to do something positive with your life and do something positive with because it takes no courage to come here and state the problems. It takes no courage to actually say you are the problem. It takes courage to do something about it. So my recommendation, Empathy Corp, is that you do something about helping others or yourself, and that you stop fucking around with people's energy, because it's not serving you or others. Next person up, and that's the last I'll answer to you, so you can leave if you want. Next person is, let me see what I have here. So I'm going to mute you moving forward, my dear. Yep, you're deleted from the channel. Okay, let me see what else I have here. Discuss new relationship. Okay, Letitia, please discuss new relationship. Man says he's in love but needs space. It's happening too fast. Well, Letitia, if a man is basically saying to you that he needs space, give him space. However, there's something that comes with space, right? If he's saying, you're my girlfriend and you're exclusive to me, but I need some space, it depends on kind of like the relationship is. If it's really happening too fast, slow things down. And if you became exclusive too quickly, don't be exclusive with him until and unless both of you understand each other, have a foundational friendship that's solid, have determined that you're the best fit for each other at this stage in life, and then be exclusive. So if what needs to happen is both of you need to step back and take a deep breath and not be exclusive, so be it. But with not being exclusive also comes, don't have sex with him, don't engage with him physically at the level that a woman shouldn't engage with a guy who's not her boyfriend. So give him the real space he needs. And if he really needs more space, then cut communication with him if that's what he's looking for, and then continue, move on with your life. And if he comes back and you're still single, great. If he comes back and you're with someone, then he lost because he needed space, right? I need more nuance to be able to help you with this one, but that's the general principle of what I would say to you, my dear. Next person. Let me see what I have here. Let me see. Bern, why do men pull away when they say they're in love? They don't. Some guys do, but some guys don't. So that's more of there's so many reasons why this can happen, but I would say that I wouldn't take it as guys do this. Some guys go forward when they're in love and they take more pursuit when they're in love. So this might be something specific that you need to go deeper on with this guy. Let me see what else. I have a few more questions before I leave today. So let me see. Let me see if this is a question or just a statement. Okay, so the crazy manifestor, I was the guy, best friend. I told him I like you. He told me he's neither rejecting or accepting, so I let him and completely blocked him. Okay, so if he's not interested in pursuing something deep and you are interested in pursuing something deep, then and you're in love with him, which I think is what's probably going on, then being friends might be really hard right now. I'm not saying that it can never happen, but probably now it's not the best space. Janet saying, thank you. I appreciate you and so grateful for your wisdom. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here, and I'm thankful that you showed up today. Mubarak saying, how to get over scarcity mindset. It's a daily commitment to seeing what's great in people and what's great in life versus what's missing. It's a daily commitment. I would say one simple thing you can do right now if you want to get over scarcity mentality is gratitude. Wake up every single morning of your life, regardless of how much pain you're in, how much misery you're living through, how much shit is around you, and find the 5 things that you're most grateful to be alive for. Close your eyes, connect to your heart, and feel the deep gratitude that comes from being alive, from being healthy, from being a woman in this day and age, for anything that you can connect with, that regardless of the pain you're still grateful for. Gratitude is the ultimate antidote to scarcity, because it tells your brain and your heart there's more than enough. That would be where I would start. I would make gratitude be my strongest commitment for the next month, and then come back and let me know how that worked. I'll do a couple more. Okay, so let me go back and say, then I have texting back. I'm not sure if this is really a question. Okay, forever learner. Any advice for an older woman dating a younger man? How do you deal with jealousy? The first thing I'd say is, depending on the age difference, not just women, older woman, younger guy, but also younger woman, older guy. I mean, I'd say if the age difference is big, it's very unlikely that it's going to work sustainably. It can, but most cases it doesn't. Now, in your specific case, I would need to know more about how old you are, how old the guy is, and then I can give you something far more specific to your needs. So if you can share it before we're done, I'll be happy to share that with you. And if not, then we'll do it on the next live. Stephanie Rodriguez, how to overcome fear of commitment. Okay, it's a great question, Stephanie, because it's a fear that not only, I mean, there's this misconception that men are the ones who are always afraid of commitment. My experience connecting with thousands of women from every continent and every walk of life and every age group and every weight and size and shape and color is that women are afraid of commitment as well. So it's a myth that women are not afraid of commitment. And as you're sharing with me right now, I mean, it's just a testament, that you could be afraid of commitment. There's nothing wrong with it. I would say that how you get around with the fear of commitment, both men and women, is that you recognize that falling in love, finding your soulmate, is a sacrifice. Because if you start to think about love is the most beautiful and the kindest and the gentlest thing you can experience, and it's all roses and it's a walk in the park, then you won't commit. But if you're honest about what commitment is a life of sacrifice, but the sacrifice that brings more meaning to your life. So you're in essence saying, I'm willing to cut off from other potentialities, from other possibilities, so that the one potentiality becomes manifested in my life right now in such a way that I have far more meaning and a far more fulfilling experience and a far more giving experience than I would if I just wanted to go for freedom, which is confused often, because doing what you want when you want isn't freedom, it's just pleasure. So you commit to a life of meaning versus pleasure, and then it's not that it's easy, but you know what you're getting into. I'll take, okay, so forever learner, 38 and 24. Here's my best advice to you, forever learner, 38 and 24. It's not going to work. I'm serious. You're in a completely different life stage than he is. 24-year-old man, for the most part, is still a child. 30-year-old woman knows exactly what she wants and has lived enough to know it and to want it. So it's very unlikely that this will work. I'm going to save you some time and some pain and say that you're probably much better off figuring out who around your age group has the same goals that you do and connect with that to try to have someone who's way younger grow up to meet you at your level. It's probably not going to happen. And I'm sorry to say it this way because I know that there are exceptions. I found very few exceptions where we're such a big age group at this found. I mean, like if you said, well, it's between like you're 16, he's 50, it's 10 years, but you lived enough. 24 years of age, there's so much he hasn't lived through. And I'm gonna guess probably at 38, you probably have children. Probably at 24, he doesn't. There's so many differences why this is probably not gonna work. So that's going against political correctness. I'm gonna say don't cause yourself less pain and don't do this. Okay, let me see what else I have here. At 24, should I be dating or should I be doing something else if I'm not ready to commit, but I don't want to block my blessings? It's really a personal choice, Stephanie. I think I would ask yourself the question, what's the highest outcome that you have? If the highest outcome is to get some experiences, be clear about it with the man you're dating so that you're not running them. But here's the challenge. If you basically say, I'm just wanting to get some experiences, that you're going to connect with a type of man who doesn't want something deep. And if you connect with a type of man who doesn't want something deep, he's probably going to create some experiences in your life that will make you have the wrong idea of men. So when you're ready to connect with the right guy, you'll be skewed into thinking that guys are non-committal. So I don't know. It's a tough question. If you want something just basic, I'd say probably better to wait until you're ready for a strong commitment. Not that you shouldn't ever go for a relationship that's not super meaningful. As long as you're very clear on what you're looking for, and as long as you know what are some of the potential problems that might arise if you go for something that's not super deep, then go for it. But it's a big thing. Okay, last one. I'll ask one last question. So forever learning, this is what you kind of suspected. You've always been behind guys in your age. I'd say connect with a strong guy your age. Okay, let me go with Arlen, your last question today. Started dating someone who's new, been talking for a month before meeting him in person. Went out twice now, and you have chemistry. He told you that he doesn't want to see anyone else, and he's asking you to do the same. So I would say if he really wants that, I would say I don't think a month typically is enough to get to know someone. Say, dude, if you continue showing up this way, in a couple of months, I'm probably going to be ready to do just that. Right now, I'm not ready. I really appreciate the way you're showing up, and I really want to continue connecting with you. I'm not ready to make that commitment yet because I want to make sure that it's the best fit for both of us. And then he'll either have what it takes or not. He'll either want you to do it at his pace or he won't. I think there's a discussion you can have with them, and because typically, let's say you become girlfriend, now there's deeper things that happen, and you want to know him better. You want to go through some good times and bad times before you make that kind of commitment. Because the last thing you want to do is jump with both feet into something that is the wrong thing for you, but now you get emotionally attached, now you get sexually attached, and then breaking free from that could be an extra year than you need to. So that's my best advice. Have him wait longer, not just for your sake, for his sake as well. Okay, ladies, super excited for you who showed up today. So grateful and thankful. I'll share two things with you to end things. If you're listening to this back and forth and you're saying, my God, I would love to have some specific, not just generically here, some very specific back and forth every week of my life until I got what I wanted, there's some space to do that. And it's way more intense and way more customized than this. And that would be personal coaching. If you're saying to yourself, I've gotten as far as I can with free advice, but I need some hand holding through this process, there's going to be a link on the description of this video and any of my videos that says work with Bern, and click on that one, submit an application. If we're fit to work together, my assistant will reach out and connect with you. If we're not, we'll let you know. Second one, there's another link in the description of this video that will also have a way for you to go through a masterclass. If you haven't gone through it already, go through that masterclass, enter your name and email, and it will give you a few specific steps, step-by-step points as to how you can get much more of what you want. Okay. Love you all. I promise to do this more often. I know I haven't. Last one I think I did in December. I want to do more of this. So continue sharing what you need. Continue sharing your love. Continue being courageous. And I'll be here in the near future to share more of this with you. I love you so much. Thank you for adding so much value to my life, and thank you for always supporting my videos. Your comments, your likes, they mean the world to me. So thank you so much.